Hello, Copic friends. Michelle Houghton here. We are back at Finding Copic Color Combos. This is week 12. So 10, 10, all those fingers in two. Um, so the image that I have is one that I took from the side of an old rusted train in Seward, Alaska. And I've got this neat image of kind of this rusted seam in the metal and has pieces of the blue. And so I thought this might be at least kind of a two-parter that we'll do a piece of it today and then we'll look at a piece of it next Friday as well. So today we're focusing in on the rust, where the actual places where the metal has fallen away, that we're seeing the rust underneath, or not the metal, the paint. That level of paint has fallen away and we're seeing the rust on the metal underneath. You'd have similar, a little bit similar on top of the bolts as well. And then next week we'll look at where it's kind of coming through the paint, kind of this in between and into those blues. I just thought it might be interesting to do this in two sections. There's definitely two very distinct sections to this image. So thought we'd take a look at both. So I started with some colors that I have used on kind of rust images before, and I think I've got a good combination. In the past, sometimes I've layered the rest underneath with some warm grays, and I decided to go without today to see what would happen. Where I struggled, if you can see it, is in those lightest areas. That was the color I was struggling with because the colors I've used in the past are earth tones. And a lot of times we have used in classes an E93 and then an E99, excuse me, as kind of those primary, got a frog this morning in my throat, primary rust colors. And they work really well, but I felt like I wasn't getting the depth, and it's still pretty pink. And so I was looking for something else. So I shifted into some E11 or E11. I didn't feel like that got me quite where I wanted it to go. It's definitely lighter, but it's still kind of peachy. And then I tried my kind of go-to light earth tone, which is that E50, and you can see that right up here. But I felt like it's not as rich as what this color is. I'm missing something. And so, then the question is, what am I missing? What am I missing in that little tiny area that I'm not getting out of that E50? And it's pretty close, but I feel like this is still warmer. And so possibly adding some yellows and or yellow red would work better. So I went to one of my go-to yellow-red combos or markers, which is the YR30 and YR31, and that's what's right here. And you can see what ended up happening is I felt like that was actually getting closer, but I felt like it was almost too yellow, that part. And so I went over to my kind of big wall of Copic and looked for something that had a little bit softer tone. And what I found was the YR20 and YR21. So all I've done is shifted saturation a little bit to the 20 and 21 instead of the 30 and 31. And I feel like I'm right in the range. And so I even tested it a little bit going back into some of my E's to see what would happen if I layered that in. And look what I've got. I've got something that just falls right in that zone. So let's come on over to the other side of the card, and we're going to line these guys up and see if we really got what we wanted. The other piece that I was looking at is I've got these rusty tones, but then I've got two other things going on. So this is that YR20, which is yellowish shade. So YR20, and I'm going to give myself a big block of that. And then I've got YR21, which is considered cream. And I'm going to go ahead add quite a bit of that, but leave that little tail end. Then I'm going to layer on top some of those E's. So I've got my E93, which is that tea rose. And see, this has already done a beautiful shift in that color. I'm actually going to think about this for some other things of laying that yellow red underneath this color. I love what it's done to that color in particular. And then E99 baked clay. Now this will take some blending. If you've done this before, if you've used these markers with me before, the E93 and the E99, you know they take a little bit of work to blend together. It does work. And there's other markers in between. You don't have to make this big a jump. I tend to because that's what I carried in my Copic bag for so many years. But I'll go ahead and give it a little smush while it's wet so I don't have quite as much to do later. There we go. And then I felt like it's nice to have a couple colors that'll push it even further. So I grabbed an E09, which is burnt sienna, and that's that really deep, deep red in the earth tones. And then I would encourage you to find either, this one is an E47, but an E49 would work as well to hit some of those details in those really dark little spots. And on this one, it truly would probably come in more in little kind of speckles at the very tail end. So it doesn't necessarily, it's not necessarily going to blend in smoothly. It's going to be more that texturizing that happens. So let's get these written down for you. And then we'll look at one other piece that we tend to see is those kind of greens in there. So YR20, YR21. So some yellow reds going underneath to really pull more reds and warmth into the whole combination. Then we've got the E93, E99. And then we added E09 and then an E47 or E49. Kind of at this tail to hit home some of those really dark spots. Now, then the challenge is, do you want to add some of those green and on some of those places where we've got that patina effect? Stepping away, sorry. So one of the ones that I have used frequently is actually a G20, which is wax white. And the reason we use that, a couple reasons, it is a super light green. And I don't know, because this has gotten so dark, if this is going to be effective. So it's going to have that bleaching effect. And it's not a bleaching effect. It's going to push. We've got a lot of alcohol in a G20, so it's going to push out on that color. I'm thinking I want something a little bit darker because I do want it to sit a little bit on top of that. So I'm going to try a couple different things. So this is a G21. This I think is actually going to work better in this case. So it's still going to push at those colors. It's not going to eliminate them. I can still see those colors kind of shining through from underneath. It's not going to erase them because remember, Copic marker, we're not going to erase it. We're going to push the ink around. So I'm pushing some of that color through to the back of the paper, right? And then I'm also pushing it outward. But that G21 might come in and give me, and see on these lighter colors, that's almost too dark. We'll have to kind of think about maybe on the, although I say that and look how close that is. That's like right on point. So maybe that G21 is going to give us the And really in those lightest areas, we're not seeing, like in that super light area, we don't see as much of the green. It really is in those darker areas. Obviously up here, we're seeing it on top of the silver, and that would be for next week when we hit this other group, or this other range of kind of mottled colors. Yeah, I think I'm happier with the G21 on top of those kind of middle to dark colors for this group. So we're going to add G21 for any of those little kind of patina spots in the rust area. The beauty of an effect like this is I would definitely go back and forth. So I might add that G21, and then knowing that those are along some of those rough edges, come back in and add the mottled look. So that's my darkest brown, and then this is that E99. And if I came in around that green, but once I've found my colors by doing some testing like we did here, then I can play with them and create this kind of mottled effect that we're finding on the rusted terrain. All right, everybody, hope this was helpful again. We'll come back next week and we'll play around with this kind of mottled mess that's on those painted areas that are getting the rust up through the paint where the paint's still intact. We'll see what we can do. My guess is we're going to look at some E7s and then figure out again what we can do with blue and some yellows that are kind of layering on top of each other to get those in-between colors. Thanks for joining me this week. Everybody have a happy, colorful day.